hopefully on my YouTube channel, my Twitter channel, and Facebook. I should be live on all three using this other platform today. So, wherever you might be in the world, if you're on Facebook, let me know that you can hear me. And so, just those of you that know me, send me a text through my phone and say that you can hear me. I haven't used this platform in quite some time. As you see here, the name of it is in the top corner of the screen. So I'm still getting familiar with this, getting out of my own way, Been on for approximately a minute. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some teaching from my books. So here you go. I got to go get the books. Don't go anywhere. Broadcasting, forget everything, right? Don't put the books out like I'm supposed to. But I'm going to teach a little bit from all of my books today. I have so many good updates. I just was asked to do a 30-minute presentation through Zoom for the Unity Church out in Montclair, New Jersey. It'll be on the third Friday of October, which will be October the 15th. So if you happen to be home, and when I get that Zoom link, I want you to send me, just let your friends know. When I get the Zoom link, I'll give you guys the Zoom link. Hopefully, everybody outside of the Unity Church Healing Circle can see it, okay? Hopefully, I'm going to ask the person later on, can I share that link? So it'll be Friday, October the 15th for 30 minutes on the Unity Healing Circle channel out of Montclair, New Jersey. So either they might give me a specific topic to talk on, or I might choose my own and just talk for 30 minutes. That's all I'm going to get. And I'll get paid. That's the cool thing. So that's one update. Also, I'm doing my own free enrichment training courses online once a month. They're always done on the second Tuesday of the month. And so I come on about 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time when I do that, which is 5 p.m. for me Mountain Time. I haven't decided what the topic will be, but I think it will go along the lines of affirmations and learning how to use affirmations to enhance your well-being. So usually, you should know this, usually when I do a free enrichment training class like that, they usually go for about 75 to 90 minutes. What usually happens is I turn them into a free ebook or a free PDF right after it's all done. So if you don't get an opportunity to join me in any of those, you can always sign up to receive free ebooks or free PDFs from me that cover a particular topic. And, just enough information there so that you can get something out of it and could utilize it right away. Now, also, what I'm going to be, all kind of topics, not only from my books, as excerpts from my other teachings like Creative Pathwork Meditation Series. This month on the 14th of September, I taught to a few people something about my guided meditations. I did a white light meditation and I did a pink light meditation. So that was unique. The one that I did in August, which was the very first one, I did the power of meditation. So now what's going to happen is for the people that take it freely live with me, you will always get some part of that material for free. You'll automatically get the in a PDF or ebook form. So, you'll get that. And depending on how I move with spirit, you could very well receive the audio of that from the Zoom platform teaching. So there's a lot of things that can be presented in different formats in different ways. So I have this additional platform and I like to get on it and use it every now and then. So somebody is tuning in, whoever you might be. The way this works, hopefully I'll be able to pick up on various connections. I just want to make sure that I'm coming through my channel here on YouTube. So I don't really see myself in here yet, but I guess I'll be coming through. Maybe it'll be delayed. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to, and like some people say, advertise yourself. So there's my brand new logo, right? That's the brand new logo for the Circle of Grace One. It's a water cup today. But I want to teach from my very first book, an excerpt, Dancing in the Light of Divine Grace. This talks about how I got into and had these experiences. So I'm going to take something from my chapter and one of the chapters and just lay it out here for you. Now, yeah, in one sense, I'm putting it out there so you know that I have books. Let your friends know that I have books, but also it's just my way of sharing insight with all of you, and I just want to be able to give you that. I'm going to choose here chapter 27 in the book Dancing in the Light of Divine Grace. And usually what happens, I read it all if the chapter is short. This one is short, so I might even teach from it. This is a universal decree for spiritual alignment and attunement. Align meaning to get in line mentally, and then that will also allow you to get in line emotionally. Attunement is just like tuning up a car. So it's designed to raise you up a notch or two. Now, what you need to understand too is that I first received this on Friday, July 9th, 2010. Now, how do I know that? Because at that time I was living in Paterson, New Jersey, out east. And I used to, with another friend of mine, and several of my students out there asked me, could I do something once a month? Because I had gotten out of Newark and now I'm in Paterson. So I decided, I was living in Paterson. So what I decided to do, and I did it for about pretty close to a year, on I think it was the first Friday night. The first Friday night of each month, I would put together at a special house on the west side of Paterson. And I would go there with this friend who I was sharing his apartment with at the time. And for like 3 or 4 hours, we'd kick this thing off at 7:30 at night, and people didn't get out the door until midnight. We had socialization with some food, refreshments, but we also, in between those sessions, they got some live streaming guided meditations. They received spiritual messages from my ancestors, late Mother Grace, Grandma Charlotte, which they still popping through with information. I also gave them some Pacific teachings in metaphysics and spirituality so that I was uplifting them. And sometimes we'd have 5 people, sometimes, if I counted, 10 people sitting around in this small spot, but we were doing it. So this is it. This real alignment and attunement. And by the way, these are universal decrees and prayers and affirmations, I'd receive them in the middle of the day. Then I would write them out and give them to everybody. So this real alignment and attunement can be used at any time, preferably on a daily basis. You will be able to feel it and know that you are in the grids of light. But that's the most important thing to know, in the grids of light and within the mind of what we refer to as God or divine creator, divine source. For this is truly a remembrance. Now, just to set it up so that you understand it, is that you actually do remember these. I used to use the phrase before, downloading. Well, I'm beginning to understand that after about 40 some odd years of doing this, almost 50 years, a lot of this is coming from the inside of us. So we're kind of upgrading, uploading. It's already there. We just embedded it. We just kind of sit on it a little bit. So in this next paragraph, I'm going to need you to say your name. Okay. That's going to be very important. Through divine power and by divine grace, I, which means now say your name, remember who I am. And I am, those three letters are in capital letters. According to my divine nature in action, here and now. Every step that I make is purposely done for my remembrance, meaning for your remembrance, of my perfect and whole connection in accordance with the divine laws of the universe within the heart of God, or that was the term I used then. Again, God to you can be divine source, universal God mind, Goddess mind, Mother Earth, Mother Gaia, Sophia, whatever it is to you in your heart, use that. And from this point on, as I read this and teach it lightly to you, I want you to stay focused in the center of your sternum. Behind the center of your sternum is the physical heart. You can feel it beat. And I just want you to realize that you're in the flow. Therefore, I now pray and affirm that God and I are infinitely one, that you and divine source are infinitely one. As I know and remember this truth, remember this truth, that I am in me now. I am exists, always has existed, and is dwelling in you right now. I am the Kaaba or the Kabbalah. I am the Merkaba. I am fire of fire, air of air, water of water, and earth of earth. I am the pure spirit of God's own grace in my life here and now. And remember, God to you, divine source, divine creator, divine mother, divine father, whatever that energy, however you choose to say it. You just might say it as spirit. I hereby decree that as Mother Earth shifts, I do also according to my DNA, which is divine nature in action. And the Holy Spirit within me is my commander called I am. I, like my great ancestors, the Aboriginals, can hear the clarion call and understand. What does the word clarion mean? The call of the light is where you are connected to your higher self, to the divinity within you, to all of your ancestors. So it's imperative that you hear this call from within yourself. I hereby decree that it shall be a great desire to stay in alignment and attune myself, meaning yourself, to the heart and mind of God, which is again your grace of divinity. Let's say it that way. God, God, is your grace of divinity, and all of the galaxies within your grace of divinity. All of my chakras, meridians, nadis are in line, meaning aligning at all times. I see and decree, it shall be that I am within me, that I am presence within me, can hear the tune, the song of this greatness of the divine, angels, and all of creation, of light flowing through me as I am. I am is the name of this generous part of divinity that dwells in all of us, makes all things possible as I am, totally supported by all universes. Because universe, one source, one song, one word. Amen, and so it is. And at the end, I signed it off. This is chapter 27 in my book, Dancing in the Light of Divine Grace. I said, remember that divine grace is a blessing as we are alive and well in the age of remembrance. So I wanted to get that out there. I wanted you to have that experience. And this is essential to our well-being. Maybe I should take another one here if it's not too long. This is also very short. This is from chapter 31. Today I am healthy, using the I am. The late Reverend Ike used to always say this: whatever you say after I am, you get that in your mind, capital I, and then the two letters am. He says, whatever you say after that, you shall become. So, for instance, if you're not really feeling well throughout the day, you know you're sick or whatever, some illness, but you keep repeating that, it's good to acknowledge it so then you get through it faster. But if you keep repeating it too often to yourself with an emotional input that goes in there at the same time, sooner or later, you become that. He used to always teach, even if you're not feeling well, emotionally, you're not feeling well, mentally, you're feeling stressed. He used to say, do your best to climb up out of that. In other words, to embed, to replace bad thoughts and bad feelings. Where you're feeling weighted down, to replace it with a positive thought. And so we're going to do that right here. We're going to say something that's going to lift us up. This is chapter 31 from my book, Dancing in the Light of Divine Grace. It's entitled, Today I Am Healthy, Whole, and Complete. This channel came to me while I was over here in New Mexico on May 8th, 2015. Today, like any other day and moment in my life, I am always whole and complete. I affirm right now that I am always whole and complete. I treat every thought and feeling that flows to and from my heart and mind as truth. Therefore, I always choose to be happy and to feel happy. That's important. We have to choose to be happy and choose to feel happy. Reverend Ike used to say, you want to be in a position to be, do, and have. Be, do, and have. Be happy, do something happy, and then have something. That's the end result of that. In other words, set it up in your mind. When you get up in the morning, let us do our best to think as positive as possible. Even though we got a lot of things on our back, we got a lot of issues, a lot of problems to be solved. We got some problems that may not be solved. But he says, put the key in when you start that car. You start that car with the intention that you're going to get to your destination safely. So this goes on to say, I am the originator and creator of my own happiness, which starts on the inside of me and flourishes into my surroundings. Let me read that again. I am the originator. So you think about it. You're the originator. You're the creator. You're the boss of your life. You're the captain of your own ship. It says, I am the originator and the creator of my own happiness, which starts on the inside of me and then flourishes into my surroundings. That means you get so excited about yourself. You get so joyful with yourself to the point that you're overflowing. Do you know that when you get up in the morning, you drive your car somewhere to get a cup of coffee, because even though you got plenty of coffee at home, you feel like going out, right? Why? Because you just want to go out into the world. So you want to take that joy with you. You want to take that happiness with you. And while you're out in the world, you want to give it to somebody. Well, it could be your neighbor. You come out your front door or your side door and you see your neighbor. I was raised to think by my parents who were from the South. They would say, yeah, you might address everybody to the house, whoever's the first person up. You might say, good morning, blah, 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 blah. But when you go outside, you might have a neighbor. And sometimes if you and your neighbor don't even speak, just, hey, good morning. Some don't speak back for whatever reason. And it may be their reason. They don't feel up to it. But don't let their weight fall on you. Your part is to inject positiveness into the world. Now, this comes to mind in the conversation I had with one of my spiritual colleagues. She was saying the same thing yesterday. She wanted to speak more positiveness into her life, into her surroundings. To speak that. Why? Because you keep uplifting your own frequency. So when you get your frequency higher than it was the other day, higher than it was just a few moments ago, everybody that comes in touch with your energy feels the positiveness of that energy. They feel the happy, they feel the joy, they feel not only your confidence, but they feel your humility at the same time. Not only do they feel your confidence and your humility, they feel the good energy because you're putting something out there for others. And you want to make sure other people are feeling good too. I look into my mirror and proclaim. So I'm imagining this is my mirror. You imagine it's your mirror. And proclaim. That means just claim it positively. I love you. And I want you to feel that when you say that to yourself. I love you. Repeat it quietly in your mind, in your chest. I love you. Feel it in your torso. I love you. Feel it in that energy now. Travel down into your legs, feet, hands, and arms. I love you. I love that you are always providing for me to be present. It's something that I've been saying, sharing, not only in classes with my students, but with my friends, wherever they are in the world. Be present. You don't have to be perfect. Perfect can create stress on you. But being present, showing up in your own life, being present will not create stress. It'll unlock doors where stress can be alleviated. We are healthy. Let that sink in. We are healthy. You're telling the billions and trillions of cells running throughout your body that they are healthy and happy. Why? Because those cells are also listening, and your cells want to reverberate, want to echo that message out throughout the community of the body itself. When people look at you, or you look at yourself, you want to see a ray of light surrounding you, rainbow light surrounding you. You want to see a healthy appearance. You want to feel better. It says the core of my being exudes health and happiness. So when we speak these words to ourselves, we want to speak internally. We want to feel it all the way down inside and feel it come all the way up to the surface, up into our auric field and out into our surroundings. Everything in nature is listening to us. That means no matter what state you're in, I'm in New Mexico, you might be in New Jersey, New York, you might be in California, you might be in the state of Washington, Oregon, you might be up in Canada, you might be down in the southern parts of the United States, right? You might be out in Hawaii listening to this. You might be in Brazil listening to this. Chile, Argentina, Peru, and so forth and so on. You might be in the UK somewhere, Nottingham, England. I got friends over there. You might be Ireland, huh? You might be in the Bahamas. You might be in Puerto Rico. You might be in other lands. But it exudes health and happiness from your core. Just as sure as the sun shines brightly upon me, my inner light is just as bright. So, metaphorically speaking, you want, just like you see the sunlight shining brightly, you want to have that same kind of feeling on the inside that you are radiating a bright light. My inner light is just as bright, and even a so called cloudy day, even a so called cloudy day, reminds me to attend to myself first, then others. So, what is it saying? Take care of yourself. You're number one. Work on yourself. Work on your happiness. Work on your health. As much as you can, work on it. Feed the love to yourself first. Then it goes on to say, today is an excellent day to remind myself that I am always whole and complete. So that's the key. Get up every day, remind yourself, look in the mirror, say, I love you. and then say, I am always whole and complete. Say it before you go to sleep at night. Have little sticky notes all over the place on your refrigerator before you leave your residence. How many exits, entryways? Put a sticker on the inside of your house right by the door so you can see it. I'm always whole and complete. I love you. So right here, I'm going to have you repeat your name twice. Today, I, say your name, am always whole and complete. I know this is true for me as well. So today, again, say your name, am always whole and complete in me here and get excited. I am excited. Start to let yourself feel that. I am excited. Start to tune into the feeling. I am excited. You want to know how you are feeling. In every moment, you want to be able to check that. And those teachings today came from Dancing in the Light of Divine Grace. I want you to share in the joy of that. Why? Because you deserve happiness. We all do. Whether it's happiness that you have a partner in your life, or sometimes you just happy, period. Because you don't have to wait till the partner gets there for you to be happy. You want to be happy anyway. So I'm going to take something from the wisdom of Akhenaten as I am. Akman always got something great. Ooh, he's got something in here. He's got some. The chapter is a little too long, so I'm going to go back to a favorite. Akhenaten, like Nefertiti, they, in their own way, were involved in the culture of art during their time. As much as the Amun priesthood hated him, he was always about self-empowerment. And let me tell you something. No matter what, you may run across a lot of archaeologists doing stuff, and there's always this thing where everybody wants to downplay Akhenaten and Nefertiti. Oh, they used the children like slaves. Oh, they did this. You got to understand, there was a certain mindset during their time, just like there's a certain mindset that's going on in our time, several of them. So we can't denounce anything. In other words, you can't use your standards today to override their standards and their thought patterns and their philosophies. That neither one of them mix. However, what we're doing in this lifetime comes from that lifetime. So there are some connections to and fro. I remember, I don't know who it was. I had a friend that said, but he did this and he did that. Don't worry. 200 years from now, somebody's going to find something you did and go, wow, they did this and they did that. Let's not be judging all of this all the time. There are some things we should judge because we know they're incorrect, but not everything is incorrect that you see. Don't let everything you see become your opinion. Let it become your direct remembrance. See, a lot of these things that I'm writing, they're from my remembrance, and I was just told to share it. So in this book, this is from chapter 10 on gratitude. And there are, I think, there are 9 short stanzas. And this was coming from Akhenaten. I'm going to read the paragraph before it. Beloveds, we desire for you to be always loved, but especially for you to recognize that self love can bring healing power into you because you allow yourself to be open enough to receive the divine light and love from the great central sun as I am. People say, oh, he was worshiping the sun. No, he knew that the sun represents something greater. It represents something great. Worshiping the moon? No, something greater. Worshiping the earth? No, something greater. Worshiping oneself? No, something greater. I keep saying that. It is often all right to be aware of the past, but not drown in its low energy. Let us not drown in the low energies of our past. We yearn to assist you with several means to help raise your frequency so that the state of gratitude can remain with you. I think Dr. Michael Beckwith, the head of the Agape spiritual community out there in California, he always says, let your gratitude lead you to your altitude. Let your attitude also, correcting your attitude and putting it in the light of all of creation, will raise you, will give you the proper altitude. In other words, you're going to change, you're going to alter something within inside yourself when you have gratitude. Study and state the following phrases in the manner as it is expressed. 9 sections. 1. Beloved, I am, in capital letters. I thank you deeply. Your holy praise I sing. And as your light goes before me, it clears a path. I truly receive and raise my voice to the celestial heavens, so I may embrace you as the great Attend. Attend meaning the light, the solar light. I bow to you. Now, Attend is not just the solar light, it's the infinite spiritual light. I bow to you. I love you for you. I only see. As you rise before me, I offer you my holy embrace. I am forever grateful. Yes, I am grateful for you as, and in capital letters, I am. Second stanza. There were days when I fell down, you came and lifted me up. There were nights I could not sleep, you came and covered my eyes. When others plotted against me, you shielded me. You raised me above them. You caused many to respect, honor, and love me. I am forever grateful. I am forever grateful as I am. He's having an awareness, the clarion call, the light within. Number 3, my I has become your eternal I within me. I am forever grateful for your eye of truth, grace and love as light. I am dwelling in heavenly gratitude. Number 4, your light is as bright as the stars. Your light is my blue beacon light, the color blue, like I'm wearing. And it guides me so that I am right. I appreciate you. I am wise because of you. Thank you. You lift my soul and set me free. Thank you. You cause me to be clear. Thank you. You raise my courage. Thank you. I am blessed. Thank you. Number 5. Your golden white splendor brings forth beauty in all, and your blue rays bring forth the divine will. I am grateful for your wisdom in every way. I am blessed and grateful. You cause me to be one with you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Number 6. My mind is your mind, and my heart is your heart. My love is unconditional as your love. Your light is a blessing upon my life. Therefore, I am beloved and one with you. I am grateful. Number 7. I am gloriously infinite because of you. I prosper abundantly because of you. I am made whole and complete because of you. You continue to bless us all as I am. I am humble and I appreciate you. I am thankful for you as I am. Number 8. We are all loved by you. We are truly blessed by you. We are enlightened by your presence. And the presence of light shines on you, you get bright. We decree that we are like you. Yes, we are thankful for you. We are truly thankful for you. And the last key, we are totally blessed by you. We see ourselves in you, and because of this, we are one with you. Thank you. Thank you in loving grace. Thank you. The teachings from the wisdom of Akhenaten as I am. Why am I sharing these teachings? It's a remembrance. And whoever it clicks with, that group of people will go, I need to get the book. I need to read the book. And when it clicks, it's going to click. It's going to cause remembrances to come up inside of you. You're going to see yourself as well. New logo. When I get it blown up big, it's going to replace that. It's going to sit on one side. You can see both together. Now, the gift, which is the wisdom of Nefertiti as I am, the gift. Each book has something special in it. Each book has a message. And I want to share the message. That's why I'm reading from the book. And every one of these are special. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby, here she comes. Here she comes. Here she comes. You know, in this book, I'm going to read the end of it, the end of the chapter that I chose. This is the chapter 11, Divine Mother's Energy. And she speaks about the frequency of the Divine Mother. Now, what she's doing is she's not separating any of these characteristics. They all are different traits and characteristics, different attributes of the one. So We don't want to take it all as being this is over here, that's over there, this is over here. Just like you got your head sitting on your body, right? You have a whole body. However, you are presented to this world, you chose to come in. That's what you're showing to the world, to bring balance to that part of yourself. She talks about the DNA as D period, N period, A period, as divine nature activations. Nature means what's really true. You were born with the truth. That's why it's called nature. And A is forever being born. Letter NA means forever being born. Continuous, non-stop, living, eternally living. So she says, these things have been in motion for an eternity. She also calls, just like Akhenaten did, the chakras as petals of light, radiating petals of light. So these teachings, these frequencies, these activations, they have been coming to the surface as one evolves through oneself. That means as you mature spiritually, there is an awakening happening on different levels. There are remembrances and awarenesses that you have. All of this is your soul's divine flame, she says. We all have a divine flame. She says, right now you're experiencing shifts, subtle shifts and major shifts. I like to add on, the least you can hope for is that when the shift takes place, it's not blowing you apart. When these different earth changes, people, well, when is the big one? Don't worry about when the big earth change is. Deal with the ones that are here. I pray that we're all in the right place at the right time. There are souls that may transition, but there's a choosing. There's ahead of time something came in and they were supposed to be there. It could happen to any one of us. She says, right now you are experiencing another major shift that is influencing your own emergence into the I am presence through the great central sun. There's this going in and going out. Every event is occurring inside of your own electromagnetic grid. Woo-hoo. Let me read that again. Every event is occurring inside of your own electromagnetic grid, along with everyone else's grid within them. This happens because of the divine code of one is already in motion. So yeah, we have been taught to see all of this as being physical, all of this as being real, but now we're getting farther. Hey, how are you? So we're getting deeper and we're getting further, I should say, into ourselves. So we want to have movement, right, in our life. That's what we want. We want to have movement happening in our life. So someone might be asking, where's this coming from? This is chapter 11, Divine Mother's Energy, from one of my books, The Gift, The Wisdom of Nefertiti as I Am. And that's my name, Francis E. Revels-Bey. You can get it on Amazon.com. So now it goes on to say, we are always timeless. So boundaries really overlap each other. And we are not ever limited. Now I'm going to skip a little bit. Your horizons, which you see coming in around, is expanding because of you being a spiritual sentient being, always forever expanding. Your entire journey is to be self-realized being, to become self-realized being and be one with all. Paramhansa Yogananda. Look him up, Paramhansa Yogananda. He talked about that. That's what his teaching was about. And he left behind something called self realization fellowship, coming into that awareness that you awaken because you know you're connected to a divine source. So, this is why meditation becomes a valuable tool. When you meditate all the time, as much as you can, when you're in a state of meditation for yourself, you can have an interactive, you could be listening to music, you could flip on something on YouTube and watch, some beautiful graphics going on and let that be a part. You can use crystal tuning bowls, Tibetan tuning bowls, which are the metal ones. You can use triangles, you can use kalimbas, you can use a shekere, you can use anything that will open you up and put you in that certain frequency where you pick up on higher energies. So in this meditation, every term, now this is from Nefertiti, every term that is being presented to you from beloved Nefertiti is in essence a divine attribute. If we're all one, and as we become self-realized beings, that we're connected to everyone else, in the ancient times of Egypt, one of the seven hermetic principles is that the universe is all mental. And sooner or later, we'll realize the subconscious part of ourself contains the same thing that's in the universe. Sooner or later, we'll all begin to get it fully. And then we'll realize, oh yeah, I could hear something. Yeah, the bee in France, he's from France. The bee around you can hear this vibration over here from other bees. The ants around you can hear the vibration of other ants over here. The gemstones around you are communicating with the gemstones in India, communicating with the gemstones in Africa, communicating with the gemstones here in the Americas, right? Everything is communicating. This means that you are one of the many infinite essences of Divine Mother. And again, I'm not trying to separate Divine Mother from Divine Father. They're all in tune with each other. You are an extension, and yet the pure essence of the Divine Mother is being harnessed by you. That means, have you ever done Tai Chi? You get into that flow. That spiraling sensation is that S shape, the two dots, black inside of a white dot inside of the black. One is yin and the other is yang, but the dance is the same with each other. You're constantly having this experience. You are harnessing it in the physical form. And even though you are in the physical form, you are still expressing the divine matrix. Matrix is Latin for the word womb. You're still in the womb. You're still experiencing the womb. The whole planet, the whole universe, the community of your cells is all inside this matrix. Beloved Nefertiti says, we have led you and shall continue to lead you back to yourself. Have led you and will continue to lead you back into yourself. Then she says, you are a beauty to behold and a gift as well. You are awakening to the truth of becoming a self-realized being. You are both Divine Father and Divine Mother. You are the divine matrix and the ultimate expression of the divine code of one. You are all coming back home to your divine self for an eternity. You are always one divine source. Your path is our path, and our light is your light. We are always evolving, for we are the open code We are the open code, and we are always one. This is her teaching, and it is one of the beautiful teachings. So she goes on to say, beloveds, you have always been everything, and you are perpetual, are the perpetual, mean ongoing, divine blue flame. It is time for you to shine forever so that others can follow and join you now. You are like a beautiful blue rose. You are abundant and rich with divine love. That's the first wealth. To love yourself and to be happy with the self, loving others, seeing the reflection of yourself in others, being healthy, working on your health as much as you can, attracts other people who have done it already, attracts other people who can help you get better. Without your health, you have no wealth. You can't even go after it. So you got to do the things that will give you the energy and balance you at the same time. She goes on to say, you are abundant and rich with divine love, and you're this beautiful blue rose. She says, express yourself. Be the logos. Be the blue lion. You are free. You are the divine mother's love and continuous light. And she goes on with 3 short poetic statements. Beloveds, now is your moment to express the love and light of the Divine Mother. You are her divine agents, and now you are the aegis. Aegis is Latin for the divine wings of the Divine Mother. You are the fire of fire. You are the air of air. You are the water of water. You are the earth of earth. You are sacred and divine. You are the supernal one to behold. Your journey is a brilliant, iridescent light for all to see. You are magnificent. You are the overflowing chalice and flaming scepter. Your eternal presence blesses all. We are in absolute gratitude of your divine truth. We embrace and love you for your inner light. We honor your remembrance. We are now whole and complete. She's sharing that with you from this. Now, someone may ask, how did you get these teachings? The one called Akhenaten, which people say Akhenaten, but he told me to spell his name this way. This book is a channeled book, and so is this one. And I say that because he entered my life in 2006. I was on a completely different path. It was still metaphysical and spiritual, but he showed up. And then I wasn't even studying to try to find out who he was. And in the course of 2006 to 2009, when I got into 2009, he was in a dream. He says, come here, Ameniton, which is Ameaten. That's what he called me. Come here, Ameniton. I want to speak with you. That's how it began. This book, when you get it on Amazon, this book was written originally in 2018. I started to write it, and then one day I couldn't write it. And then one day in 2019, he woke me up. Actually, 2018. It woke me up out of my sleep. Says, go to your computer now. And he started to channel every chapter. Like one day he gave me the list of the chapters, there's 13, and then each day at night started channeling. Took a long time. I went from the end of June of 2018 all the way into October. Finally got it done after about 3 months. That's 2018. In 2019, mind my own business. Nefertiti comes to me in a dream. She said, "This is not a men's club. I have something for you to remember." She said, "It will be like a gift to you." I realized she gave me the title of the book. And her teachings, 13 chapters, are channeled. They kind of go together. So I had to do the work. I wasn't expecting that I would be doing the work, but I had to do the work. And in the process of me doing the work, it allowed me to see something different with myself. Excuse me, I'm kind of jumping here and looking at my phones. But I had to come into this. I had to take my time, and I had to see myself receiving these teachings. And that's just the way it turned out. So they were channeled books. The first book, Dancing in the Light of Divine Grace. And that's my own artwork there. It was about how I got into this. Circle of Grace 1. Who is Grace and why is the number 1 there? Well, my biological mother, born August the 11th, 1918, transitioned on May the 13th, 1981. She became my first spiritual teacher, and her name was Grace. So she's the first Grace. The second Grace is the presence of the Angel of Grace, who is also known officially as the Archangel Haniel. So that's why grace is, use the term grace all the time. It's synonymous also using it with unconditional love, compassion, and understanding, and gratitude and forgiveness. All of these teachings coming together and sharing them in this way to the world. Also, when you get any one of these books, you might, I'll show you a picture of Grace in a minute. I can hear someone, well, what does she look like? This is a little statue I have on my altar. Only he's actually standing. This is what is we've been shown is Akhenaten. I did a meditation, and this is a drawing I did in a regular writing pen of Akhenaten. So this is in the book. This is how he came through. And I understand there's a Dutch photographer that pieced, digitally with a computer. And whenever you see that, remember this one. I drew this out of meditation. Then Nefertiti also. And it took me 8 drawings, but that's how she came to me. So I wanted to share this. These are my experiences. In the book, Dancing in the Light of Divine Grace, I had a dream, what I thought was a dream at the age of 8 of the college I would go to and attend. And when I rushed into my parents' bedroom, I was almost hyperventilating and I used to stutter as a child. So my mother slowed me down and she said, "What?" And I told her what I saw. And she just looked right back at me. Here I am, 8 years of age, 1960, on Long Island, Hempstead, New York. And my mother goes, "That's not a dream, that's a vision." Well, from age 8 to after I graduated from high school in the spring, um, kicking off close to the summer of 1970, when I finally got to the college I would go to, I had the dream, which became the vision. I actually experienced it. So people would say, "Well, who's Mother Grace?" Mother Grace has a lot to do with what I'm doing. This is a copy of a drawing of her. She asked me to draw her. I was an art major in college, completed 4 years at Bard College, upstate New York, Annandale, New York, June 1st, 1974, got my bachelor's degree in art. Had the pleasure of getting honors twice in drawing. And she sat for this. When she told me this would be my first and last time, draw me, didn't know that I did this drawing in 1976. Had no idea that 4 years later, she'd be gone. So I did that of her. She was my first spiritual teacher. And I should say, first spiritual and metaphysical teacher, but first spiritual teacher. She belonged to a lot of things, from the ancient mystical order of the Rosicrucians to Astara. She had a lot of friends and used to take me to all of her friends. Um, Let me respond back. I know I said it, but I should say hi. So one of the things about being on the internet, you never know who you talk to, and it's a glorious feeling, right? Because it's with people all over the world tuning in. So I want to say thank you to everybody that's tuning in. You are a gift when you tune in, and you acknowledge me, and I should acknowledge you also. So thank you so much. This is Now, I've read from 3 books. I actually have 5, and I'm working on more. I'm working on a book in numerology. Numerology is my first love. So this book is called The Age of Remembrance, The Divine I Am Presence in Selenite. I'll just give you a small piece, but I got pieces bigger than my forearm and hand sitting in my place. This is a little piece of selenite. I have a selenite tower underneath a round glass top circular coffee table, and in there I've got I think it's about 10 pounds of a quartz cluster, clear quartz cluster, and I have pieces like this laid out on it, pointing in toward the center, and I got a little tiny chip of moldavite in there, and then I got a selenite tower that sits up on top in the middle that's radiating, and I got it in the windows. And then my altar, in my other room, I got one piece I call the thigh bone, and as big as my thigh bone, it's like this around and like that. I think about 14 inches or more long. Big piece of selenite, a rough piece, not a polished piece. Well, this book is, if you look at it, there's a face on it, right? This is a close-up shot of a tabular piece of selenite that I have. I don't know how many. I've had at one time in my life over 100 pieces of selenite. Some I had to give away. There was a young man out here in New Mexico, out in Albuquerque, who to this day, he's probably about 20 years of age, and he makes organ pieces, right? Organite pieces. And I gave him about 20 pieces of selenite that he could ground up and use. Well, in this book, The Age of Remembrance, is about my experience of selenite in my life. How long has it been? It began in a dream. Spirit of selenite, the divine I am presence of selenite came to me in 1988. So I've been working with selenite since 1988. Now, I didn't bring my healing rod in here. Sometimes I've shown my healing rod on the air. But I tell you, selenite's got something to say. I've used it on different people uh, as a conduit of energy for balance in a person's life. But I want to take a little something here. I don't want to make it too long. I have a tendency to be long-winded. So I want to let you know that. I have a tendency to be long-winded, so I don't want to take up all of your time today, but I want to share some gifts with you. I'm being pulled in so many different directions. I see. I'm going to use, I think, chapter 2 or chapter 1. We'll see. We're going to use chapter 1. Chapter 1 is called The Clarion Call for Sirius is to Remember. That's chapter 1. I'm going to give you parts of maybe chapter 1 and 2. I don't know yet, but this is chapter 1. It is a must that we begin to prepare ourselves to return home. Now, Akhenaten said it, but Nefertiti says it a lot. Prepare yourself to go home. We have been a part of this hologram for too long. Yet we are still and have been a part of it, but we are still discovering our infinite truths through self-study. That's why Paramhansa Yogananda, during his time, had the Fellowship of Self-Realization. It kind of was formulated after him on some level, but it's about studying yourself, a willingness to go within and study yourself. We have plenty of moments of deja vu. That means already have seen. And we have intricate dreams and visions pointing us back to the many spiritually led dreams. We ask ourselves and others, who are we and why are we here? Then we start to realize that we had a great deal to do with the creating it part of why we're here. We often do that. So we are often, having this experience. No matter how many worlds we decided to be in, we did make this one special as a place of learning and learning how to discover oneness without direct assistance. We kind of put ourselves in this position, but discover through the infinite power of unconditional love and divine grace. So yeah, on our own, we decided, and we can do this on our own. Now, we don't need help. This is why we're always looking for the space brothers and sisters. We don't need their help, and now we want their help, right? But part of the contract, soul to soul contract, group contracts before we got in here was we're going to come down here to Earth. Those of us who chose to be here, souls who chose to be here and keep reincarnating back over here. We're going to come in here without any direct assistance. In other words, we're going to pull it up from memory. And now we often think like, why did I do that? And we ask to bring light in its most intelligent form. We seeded Gaia with so many elements of fire, water, air, and earth, minerals, plant life, mammals, and other unique beings, just to see how all could thrive and interact. So we did this. We helped put it out here. So if we say, well, why is my house being overridden with ants? You help put them out there. Ant just does what an ant does. It smells something sweet. Let me go check it out. We help proliferate the planet. We did this. As the various new earth energy is coming to us, and I should say, this is from me writing this, I should say is being released from our own cellular memory. We begin to let go of the old patterns of being and expressing ourselves. Collectively, we are letting go of energy. Those of you who are tuning in through YouTube, I do have a YouTube channel there. If you look up Circle of Grace with the number one, or my name is Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey, you will see my channel. We are all changing. We're letting go of energy that has housed negative and positive programming that we no longer need. So it's not going to fit into this new ascension energy, which is our consciousness being raised up. So as beloved Akhenaten says, we shall receive at a higher level. For the word receive, which is RECEIVE, means as follow. RE, prefix, means higher, and sieve, CEIVE, means take. So anytime you're hearing messages, even amongst your circle of friends and teachers, as you receive that energy, you're doing what? You're taking it up at a higher level. This is a newer awakening, and we shall succeed at the pre-designated moments. This is Akhenaten, beloved Akhenaten. This is why it is imperative that we meditate and communicate with our ancestors, those who have gone before you, and other ancestral beings in the light. It is important to meditate. Meditation is the act of finding your center of being the real you. Beloved Nefertiti says, the one you have been praying to, because many of us have prayers. As we do this, she says, the extension of yourself that you are praying to is an aspect of your own divinity. She further says, so as you gaze through the external sun before you, keep in your mind that you are using your heart and mind to go through the little sun that you see in the sky to receive the communication from your true self, who dwells in the great central sun, which is also known as Sirius B. We see all these words and things in movies going on. She says, you sent a portion of yourself from Sirius, the bright, radiant blue star, into this hologram to explore many of its experiences, then return back home. One of the many seeds we planted throughout the hologram is selenite, SELENITE, so that you begin to turn on your internal light of divinity through its use. So if you have selenite around you, you're turning on the light switch inside yourself. She says, the word clarion is defined as urgent. It is now at this very moment we are all here to start to remember, meaning gather the members, the parts of ourselves, everything and everyone, so that we can help each other rise and build out what? The 5D world of the new earth. Many people are coming together in different ways in which to do that. This is why so many of you are meeting your Syrian, Lyrian, Lemurian, Palladian, and other spiritual families now. Each one of these is embedded with many templates. Many templates are sitting inside these. The crystals and gemstones, along with sounds, have templates that you can plug into to get whatever you desire to enhance your well-being. So here's a living example. You got a lot of amethyst in your residence. You got snowflake obsidian. You might have tanzanite. You might have malachite. You might have hematite. You may have what else? Elestrial, which is another quartz stone. Citrine, aventurine, onyx, ruby, rhodonite. You can name a whole bunch. Opal, fluorite. If you got them around you, there's some element that's in them that's drawing this connection. In your body is a trace mineral called selenium, Selenium. It's found in macadamia nuts, Brazil nuts, I think broccoli. It's found in many items, many foods, almonds. It's in there. You ingest the foods to boost up the selenium in your body that helps you with more, having more elasticity to your skin, smoothing out your skin, also having a more flexible body. So, who's calling who? You're not calling the selenite. Selenite around the world is calling you. Why? Because it knows it's planted as a trace mineral in living creatures. And it's calling out, saying, oh, you're looking a little depleted. Come get me in the solid form. So now it starts showing up in your dreams, starts showing up in your meditations. And now you start going, what is that? I need to know what that is. So you start scourging the internet. Better yet, you go into a crystal shop and hopefully you find it. Polished form, rough form. Somebody said that's called selenite. And you look at it and all of a sudden your body starts to radiate. Why? Because selenite is on the inside of you called selenium and it's dancing. You found me in a solid form. So now you purchase some, bring it home. And you're going to keep doing it until it tells you to stop. And then you start to tune into it. You feel at peace with it. You feel the balance on the inside. And then you must remember every day, thank you. See, selenite reached out to me like that, and it's still around me. Template, the word template, has two important words in it: temple and plate. Template. You have your entire body as a temple. You have plates within the body, symbolically called chakras, meridian points throughout the body, points where the meridians cross. You have a right and left temple on your head and so forth, right down into your cells. Templates house blueprints. Templates house blueprints. Blueprints, notice the word color blue is used. Blue. Sirius, which is Sirius, and we're talking about the blue one because there's two of them, talking about the blue one, which is Sirius B. Sirius radiates blue light, and every being on it radiates blue from their inner core, from their center. The heart, which is the center, the core, also has other color rays. As I still sustain and maintain the remembrance when I was a menitent, this is me writing, I received the essence of selenite and its template, but I am not the only one. So I want to put this in here. I'm not the only one that works with selenite. Some 20, 30 years ago, people weren't even using it. Now it's up on the surface. People are discovering it. There's another woman, her name is Leela, Leela Hutchinson, Hutchinson. She was originally from California. I happened to meet her last year out here. She's one of the American women who were allowed to travel into the Nika Mountains down in Mexico, go all the way down into the earth with the sort of with the hazmat suits on. But she's down there with running shorts on and stuff, big old lights up here like a miner's light, and she, like everybody else, is walking along these huge pillars and shards of selenite. When you step back and take a picture of these guys on it, they look like ants crawling on top. And it was so hot down there. They could only be down there like an hour or 2 hours, and they had to come back up into the cooler parts. But nonetheless, she said in her teachings what she learned about being in there. I think she was in there in the late 1990s to the early 2000s. She was in there. She wrote a book about it. She was in there, and she said there's a vein of selenite that runs from the Nika Mountain regions right to the state I'm in, called New Mexico. This vein runs all the way up and happens to run, like a river, running through the city that I'm in, called Albuquerque, vein of it, going up, I think, as far as Santa Fe and a little higher than Santa Fe. I'm blessed to be told by my late mother when I was in my early 20s out of college that Long Island wasn't my home. I needed to be in Albuquerque. And I've been here over 11 years. It will be 11 years come November. So all of these templates, all of these are carrying this energy. So if you have selenite around you, you're supposed to be working with the selenite. Selenite's going to help you balance. Well, here's one of the things you want to know too. And this is from beloveds Akhenaten and Nefertiti. Everyone has attracted selenite into their life, has done so because they had their own direct connection to it. And we came during the ancient times as walk-ins from Sirius, the great central sun. That's what they call the great central sun. To bring back this essential remembrance so that you could work directly with it. In other words, in their ancient city of Akhetaten, which was a mystery school in itself, but a spiritual sacred school devoted to the teachings of the solar rays, they use selenite in there. If you get my other book, get this book, The Wisdom of Akhenaten as I Am, there's a chapter called Chapter 6, which is the path of the Cobra, where I had the remembrance, like an initiation, but I'm not the only one, but I remembered it. And back then they used selenite as one of the gems to help raise your energy. They said many of you were taught how to bring this high vibrational gem and connect it with angels and plants, as well as other gems and minerals. This beautiful piece, known as selenite, will raise the vibration of other gems, will elevate and cleanse other gems, and it never takes on the negativity or I'll call it like the ashes, overweighted stuff. It transforms it in the ethers for you. They say, we reminded you that selenite is a master healer because in order to feel it, the internal essence is inside of you called selenium. So I want to say that. Let's say if you have turquoise around you and turquoise has copper, well, the trace mineral in your system is copper. So any gems that were birthed through copper, like turquoise, you have an affinity to. If you're drawn to turquoise, which has a little being coming up out of the copper, you have an attraction and an affinity to not just turquoise, but also copper. And it's been proven to some degree that if you wear copper bracelets on your wrists, You can overcome arthritic conditions in the wrist and in the hands. So, not only is this the highest gemstone and one of the oldest on Mother Gaia, being on this planet, but it is from Sirius, the great central sun. And then they say me as a Menitin, but my name, Brother Francis, and my mother as Mother Grace, are going to incorporate these keys, the great central sun keys, into this channel template. So you might want to get this book and really begin to tune in. Selenite has become like the seeds of the great central sun. When we start discovering all of these different gemstones, we start awakening to them. It's because we're supposed to, so that what? We can elevate, we can expand, we can clear our minds, we can clear our bodies, we can hear the things that we're supposed to do. It's a remembrance for ourselves. I guess there's no accident. I said somebody the other day. You remember the comic book character Superman? Whenever he need to get replenished, he flew up to what I think like around the North Pole or wherever he went, probably beyond the Earth, and he wound up hanging out in the crystal cave. Huh? Superman, just to represent super consciousness, super awareness of the higher self. That's one way to look at it. They said something. I'm going to read this part that they say. A lot here. And then after that, I have one more book, and then I'm going to sign off. As I begin to channel these words from Sirius, the great central sun, which now says, "Beloved ones of light, may you prepare yourself at this juncture of your current life stream. Remember that you are a part of the original infinite seeds of divine source, who decided to seed and expand yourself into other realms. You are functioning in different capacities, and while doing so, you are being cultivated and directed from the internal conscious activity of selenite. Selenite expresses every element, for it embodies the light within all. It is an instrument for enlightenment. As you begin to reach within for the infinite codified light embedded in you from the great central sun, you begin to feel it anointing you, which is like having all of the light switched on deep from yourselves. Your cells have the power to be light guardians, and your heart is a chamber in your body to allow the body's electromagnetic energy to express itself by creating youthfulness. So, give you a hint. Keep some selenite in your home. The energy outside of you charges up that selenium on the inside of you and gets you to move toward youthfulness. And what else? Longevity from within itself, as well as impacting the other minerals throughout the bones, ligaments, and so forth. That means, let's say I'll put it on this level. Think of selenite and selenium in your body like you doing Tai Chi. You keep doing Tai Chi, you keep practicing the physical exercises of yoga, Kriya yoga, or any form of yoga, right? You just keep practicing it, making it a daily part of your life, and sooner or later, you become very limber. They say, we are blessed to be in its presence again. I am the divine I am, the great central sun called Sirius, always reaching out. Sirius is reaching out towards you and from within you. Remember that I am always with you, and we are one. So it finishes off, and I'm going to show you the bold print that I'm going to read. That bold print right there is what I'm going to read now. Chapter 7. This is from chapter 2, but page 17 of this book. Selenite is highly balanced and has both divine mother-father type energy that has been and will continue to be the carrier of the light of divine love and divine grace. Selenite influences all other gemstones, minerals, and even plant life, as it is embedded in all. Selenite is quote unquote self-seeding, which is SEEDING, self-seeding. This means that once you become directly in contact with its androgynous stone, because that's what it is, it's an androgynous stone, you shall begin to seed back into yourself. In other words, you start to remember. You will no longer have to question who, what, when, why, where, or even how of your existence, for you will perpetually know and understand. This is why it was a major instrument in the Path of the Cobra. Well, the Path of the Cobra is chapter 6. In this book, I have the wisdom of Akhenaten as I am. So as you start to go into these teachings and you start to receive them on higher levels, you will begin to know and you will begin to remember. See, selenite is everything. It's a transformer. It's a master healer. It provides for us on different levels. It brings so much out. It connects you with the divine I am presence. Okay, it carries the radiant blue flame of selenite. It carries that puts you back with the Sirius. It does a lot. And I want you to know the key that all of this comes from is called remembrance. So now I've been on for an hour and hour and a half. This is my most recent book, Decree and It Shall Be, Speak as I Am. And I'm going to take a little bit from here. Wow, and I opened right up to affirmations. So I'm going to read this one here. Chapter 4 is Affirmations, page 19. I have already shared with you the definition of an affirmation. Well, let me share it with you. It means to be firm, to make something firm within yourself. Affirm. An affirmation is something that you already know is true. You don't have to look it up. It's in here from your heart. You know it's already true. You experienced it as true. And I gave some basic examples, so I'm going to do some more. But this is going to help clear your subconscious mind while lending self-empowerment to you and strengthen your mind at the same time. There's almost about 8 or 9 of them here. And I'm also going to read some other things from this book. Here we go. I affirm each and every day that I am healthy, happy, and grateful. I affirm that I am living in harmony and my life overflows with prosperity, abundance, and the goodness of life. I affirm that I live my life with a greater sense of purpose. I have come to the realization that I am one with divine source. I affirm this truth. Each morning that I awaken from a deep sleep, I affirm that I am whole and complete. I affirm that I am in a better place now than ever before in my life. I affirm that in every moment my frequency is higher and I am feeling great. I am feeling great joy, and I affirm that I am joyful every day of my life. As I open my heart, I feel loved and healed through love. I affirm that I am living a peaceful and harmonious life here and now. I affirm I am one with the source of divinity within me, and all is well. I want to go to something else. And when you write or work with affirmations, you should create journals for them. It's important to follow the things that come to you. And what I like to do sometimes is I get in a certain groove when I'm teaching, like affirmations, affirmative prayers, and decrees. And there's a part of me that just kind of, they flow. And I'm going to do that because I want to share a meditation with you, a spur of the moment meditation from my Creative Pathwork meditation series. So we're going to take this as a meditation, and I'm also going to lay out some decrees, because whenever I'm sharing this, it's all about empowerment. And we all should seek empowerment to self-improvement. We need it all, right? Even prayer is helpful. So my higher self is ticking away here and it's saying, speed it up. So I want to give you an affirmative prayer. And this affirmative prayers are prayers and affirmations together. And what it does is first an acknowledgement to the Creator, to the divine presence called I am, to God in you. I just got a impression that came to say God is, to use it in its abbreviation, God. In the Masonic lore, they call it, it's like sacred geometry, but it's like generous, opulent design, something like that. If you replay this later, it comes out as something else. You can say to yourself, if you're seeking to generate wealth and prosperity, you can say G is for grace, but G is gratitude, but G is what? Generations of opulent designs, or generating an opulent design for yourself. But you will find a way to receive it as a representation for yourself. So this one, affirmative prayer, is for yourself, loved ones, family, and friends. The spirit of divine love that dwells in me is also within my loved ones, family, and friends. As we live as one, love and respect each other unconditionally, we become whole and complete and live in harmony with each other. My divine I am presence gift me with an inner desire to know myself as a spiritual sentient being. Myself, loved ones as family and friends are the expressions of infinite light and love in every way. Infinite presence as I am moves through me and creates a life that is always overflowing with balance and harmony. Infinite presence as I am releases unconditional love to all in my life. Everyone in my life can harmonize with me as we are all one now. This is for spiritual wellness, attunement, and oneness. My life is always aligned with the I am presence. This is an affirmative prayer. The I am presence dwells within me and enjoys experiencing itself as I am in me. I affirm that every day of my life, I am wholly focused on achieving balance on every level. The more I am balanced, the greater is my opportunity for wellness. The clearer and stronger I am on the physical plane, the greater opportunity I have and to be attuned to higher forces within my divine self. I am in the state of oneness with everything and everyone that is truly in harmony with all. I affirm this as a truth and more, for we are all one. As I reach forward with my words, I feel this is a remembrance of all life. So it is done as I am. This next one is for global healing, peace, and harmony. And from this, we're going to go into a meditation together. It's a combination of guided and silent that we're going to do right after this. And I feel the incoming and the upcoming of more light. And I'm going to speak some words. Right now, this is global healing, peace, and harmony, an affirmative prayer. Each day that I go within, I remember how well connected I am to every living being. I see myself in total peace, from within, living in harmony with everyone, seen and unseen, meaning around you that you can see physically, as well as those that are beyond the veil. I am overflowing with unconditional love and infinite love for this world. Through my ever-loving presence, I can now release the radiant light within me globally to share and bless others. I see everyone, everywhere, doing the same, and we all bring peace and love to each other. This love and light impacts the world as true global healing resounds throughout. I affirm that I live a peaceful life. I seek and I find peace and radiate this to all. I am always open to receive and share peace with everyone. As I change myself, the world I see changes. The frequency materializes itself throughout my thoughts, feeling, words, actions, and character. Therefore, I affirm that I remember that I am this living prayer. And at some point, I'm going to ask you to repeat your name, because here's the prayer. I affirm that I remember that I am this living prayer. Through divine power and by divine grace, I invoke the divinity in all life and in all of me now. I see and decree, and right here you say your name, is loved by all everywhere I go. I am loved and I am loved. I am empowered and embraced by the grace of God. And as I said earlier, you can use God to be generous outpouring of divinity if you want. Whatever comes to mind, that's what God is to you. Thus, I am living with God's grace. I see and decree that I fully remember my own divinity now. I see and decree that the offer and author and governor of oneness of all life, is my co partner in my life in every way now. I am a divine being, and my life is aligned, attuned, and in all universal spiritual and shamanic pathways. I see and decree that I am the shield of infinite light. My divine nature is activated and in action right now. I give thanks to all of my guides. Say their names, say all of your guides' names, or think of their names, for helping me to achieve, and say your desires that you seek to achieve right now. And I am thankful for all I continue to receive here and now. Amen. And so it is. So as you do that, I want to pick one decree, and then we just going to fly through this meditation, and something else will start to come to me to say. Oh, thank you so much, Lloyd D. Bike. Thank you so much. Yeah, you'll find them on Amazon. And if for some reason you forget, this is my email address. In fact, I'll give you my website. You can go to this website, write this down. You can go to my website. You can read about everything else I'm doing there. But if you go to my website, and when you go there, go to that website. If you look at the top, it'll say books on Amazon, and click there. You can read about them a little bit. The only one that doesn't have a picture is this one, but all the rest are there. But I do write about this one, and you'll see there's a link. You can highlight the link with the cursor, click on it, and it'll take you right to Amazon, and you can buy the books. So I want to read something here. This is for forgiveness, compassion, and grace. This is a decree because remembrance is the key. I choose to move forward with the spirit of I am that dwells from within me. As I recognize the infinite beauty, harmony, peace, or harmonic peace, the all-inclusive oneness of that which always shall provide for me and give provision through me. I am in a state of complete remembrance. Thus, I can fully forgive myself. Every so-called mistake or misstep was really a redirection in my life that led me toward developing greater discernment. The more transparent I become, the more I can fully empower myself with compassion and understanding. I give myself permission to love myself and see myself getting better, being better, because the divine presence of grace has made its eternal imprint on my life and through my life. I no longer carry useless burdens. I see and decree that I am has broadened my vision, enhanced my life, made my radiance brighter than ever. I decree that I am blesses me with more than enough. Oneness prevails. So I want to give us a short meditation, and then I'll sign out. Let me take a little sip. And I've been developing guided meditations. I've had over 300 or 400 of them throughout my life since 1996. I've been doing this work since 1974. So what I've learned is sometimes not to drop a full guided meditation on people, but to let you know that you can create it from your own if I give you a gem. So the gem that I give you, you can use a actual gemstone like selenite or some lapis lazuli. This is like an obelisk form, okay? Obelisk form. I carry another little piece of selenite. This is one of my oldest pieces too that I carry. Or I keep it with my tarot cards. What I want you to do, everybody that's listening in right now, I want you to find a way to sit comfortably. And I don't have a computer chair that sometimes goes low. I'm gonna make sure I'm up high. But you can do this with eyes closed, partially closed, or fully closed. Sit so that you're comfortable. Hope my mic is not making noise. Sit so that you're comfortable. Go within yourself. Inhale through the nose and let the breath out through the mouth. Inhale again. Let the breath out through the mouth. One more time. Let the breath out through the mouth. Place your tongue to the roof of your mouth, just behind your two front teeth. There's this circuit. We call this the macro circuit. You can look this up with Montauk Chia. He practices basically the same. It really came from him. And I kind of modified it in my meditations. So we're not going inside the spine. We're staying on the outside, behind the spine, from the tailbone, coming up as you inhale right through center. So it's energy to the base of the skull, crown chakra, top of the head, hairline, brow center, coming all the way down to here, which is where the tongue is touching from inside. Keep the jaw, upper jaw and bottom jaw together. Base of the throat, center of the sternum, which is the heart, solar plexus through the navel, and let it sit in the lower dantian or second chakra, sacral chakra. That's the storehouse. But focus on the heart chakra. Inhale and outhale. And what I want you to do, I want all of you who are doing this to go to a place within your memory of beauty, harmony, happiness, and peace. A place within your memory pulled up from your subconscious, from that library. A place that denotes peace, harmony, and happiness. It might be an image of you with other people, you by yourself, you with the fur family in your life, tree energy, nature. Some of you enjoy being on a body of water, boating. Some just sitting there. Bring that image up and hold it at the heart chakra. And each inhalation and exhalation without pausing. Don't pause at the top of the inhalation nor the base of the exhalation. Just relax. Go within. And while you're doing that, I'm going to take a moment where I'm going to count about 4 seconds to myself. Now that I've done that, I'm just going to let these words flow. I see and decree that all that you have experienced today was designed as a gift from me to you. I see and decree that whatever your creative mind and your beautiful heart has for you, may it unfold accordingly. I see and decree that you are blessed and a blessing. I see and decree that it shall be, that all that you seek inside shall be fulfilled, and as you as a living chalice shall overflow with your remembrance, your truth, your gratitude, your compassion. I see and decree, and I affirm that within you is great wisdom that shall light the world. I see and decree that within you every tear of joy shall bless you. Every tear of sadness shall be changed, transformed to joy. Every tear of excitement shall bless your neighbor and whoever else is with you. I see and decree that you shall personify great joy, great happiness, great peace, great wealth for you, great health for you, that every cell within your body can hear this truth come out of you. Be well, my friends. Until next time, namaste. My grace is your grace. Remember that divine grace is a blessing, that we are alive and well in the age of remembrance. And I'm just going to show you the books again. You'll find them on, you'll find these books on Amazon. Copy down the link. These are the books that you'll find on Amazon. That's a drawing that I did way back in college, and I did it again in 2010 digitally here. This pose was called Dancing in the Light of Divine Grace. The figure up there has it in the old logo, and it's the title of the book. Two channeled books, right? These two channeled books, The Gift and The Wisdom of Akhenaten, are channeled books on Amazon. The book on selenite called The Age of Remembrance, the divine I am presence in selenite. And the fifth book that I just completed in July of this year, Decree and It Shall Be, Speak as I Am. Thank you so much, Lloyd D. Bike. Peace and blessings, my friend. Everybody have a nice day. I'm going to relax. And I'm going to now end this stream. Be well.